Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thanks to God that we have passed through the 18 verses of Rumi's Mathnawi, which is the main gate of his palace. Now let's enter into his palace and see what he wants to say. Actually, his message or messages are for a perfect man. How to be a perfect man, in other words. So in the beginning somewhere he says, Sar bebor in char murghe zindara sarmedi kun khalk na payindara. Cut off the heads of these 4 active birds. Bato, taus hasto, zagasto, kharus. In misal char khalk andar nafus. Bat kharas hasto, kharus hasto. خروس آن شهوت است جای چون طاووس و زاغ امنیت است. Okay, these birds are duck, peacock, crow, and rooster. They are example of characters living among people. They are birds, but these characters can be found in people. Duck stands for greed. Rooster stands for lust. Show, the grandeur, is the peacock, and crow in the and the egoism. Crow is the egoism. So, if you want to make summary, he says there are 3 birds that you must cut their head off. First is the duck, because duck is always looking for food. So don't eat too much. Don't run after too much food. And taus, which is peacock, peacock likes show. When he opens his tail, starts crying, shouting, look at me, look at me. And then the crow, Zak, is always after something and full of desires. So you should limit your desires. And of course then is the rooster. The rooster is representative of sex here. So you lust, in other words, you should control it before going towards God's place. And then he continues, these production of physical mind should be decreased. You know, mind is made of materialistic thing. So materialism loves materialism. So you should try to diminish the desires of brain and his activities. And he says, how long will you go on like being very busy with the shapes and all? Band begosl bausch azade pisar, chand baushi band simo band sar. Zar. Garberizi behr ra dar kuzai, chand gunjat kismeti yek ruzai. O my son, be free and break away your ties of chains. For how long silver and gold will keep deceiving your eyes? If the sea is a pitcher you try to pour, it can take only a day's need. So why do you worry about it? You cannot take too much of this world, so don't be doomed by the big desires of this world. And then he gives a suggestion. He says, hisse dunya nardabane I jahan, hisse dini nardabane asaman. Sahate in his bijuyid as tabib, sahate on his bekhahed as habib. The feelings of this world are the ladder of this world, not of the other. And the religious feelings, which means spiritual feelings, are the ladder of the other world. So you have to set yourself for the other world, make ready a little bit. For the physical health, look for a doctor. And for the spiritual health, you look for a lover of God. Because he has gone a long way and he knows how to go to God. This is why we say we have to follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or his believer, or his lovers, or great saints like Muhyiddin al-Arabi. We follow him to get to the target. Okay, then he he makes a very good metaphor, creates a metaphor, wonderful. He says, Har ke bidar ast o dar khab. If in this world you are wide awake and you are very clever, actually you are in deep sleep. Chun bahak bidar nabavad jan ma, hast bidari chu dar bandon ma. If when your soul are not wakeful with God's vision, our wakefulness is like being awake in a prison. No matter how clever you are, how wakeful you are like in a prison. If a man is in prison and very clever and very wakeful, what use it is? No. First you get out of this prison. Open the door, get out. And that opening door opens to God's love road, divine love. This is what Rumi is saying. Okay, but in desires you should not be extremist. He says, Ab dar kashti halake kashti ast, ab andar zeri kashti pushti ast. If the water gets into the ship drowns. But if it goes under it, it makes the ship run, move. So, we should be like that. Too much wanting of the materialistic things drowns a man. And finish, you go into the depth. Baud darwishi, chudar bauten bavad, barsare abe jahan saukin bavad. When a dervish, who's a lover of God, because he loves God, and his desires are inside, spiritual ones, not the materialistic ones. So, he can swim or float over the water of materialistic world. He never drown. No, never ever. So, it's a very good idea. Okay, now let's see how is a very proud religious man. Rumi doesn't like him and says, Khoish bin, chun az kasi jurmi bidid, atish darwe za dozakh padid, shud padid. When a religious man looks at somebody's faults, he becomes fire like the hell. He's very angry. But he never ever looks his face in the mirror, because he himself is maybe in a very, very, in bad situation in the presence of God. So before you tell others to do, not to do something, give an advice, you first correct yourself. One day Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting in his spot, and a mother came with the child and said, Ya Muhammad, he's eating too much chocolate or sweet, so please pray for him. Muhammad said, come tomorrow. Wow, everybody said, this is very easy. So the woman went off and she came next day. The friends asked Muhammad that, why did you postpone this thing? He said, why? Because I had a lot of sugar today. So it's not good to advise a child, which I have done myself. So this is how, first you should check yourself. Do you deserve to advise other people or not? That's the point, Rumi says. Okay. So then again, Rumi, as we said about the duck, that it is found of food, eating all the time and eating. He says, non gilasto گوشت کمتر خور از این تا نمانی همچو گل اندر زمین. Because bread is actually soil and meat is soil also. So don't eat too much of these, otherwise you'll be left in the soil forever, in the grave or something. So you have to break through to the spiritual world. How you should do this? Do what Rumi is saying. Okay. Rumi, actually, it may be misunderstood, but I explain it. Says, tan kafes shaklas de tan shud khawrijan, dar farib dakhilan o kharijian. تا توانی بنده شو سلطان مباش زخم کش چون گوی شو جوگان باش مباش. Sorry. Okay, then he says, the body is like a cage and it creates thorns for you. Due to the tricks of external and internal happenings, don't be king if you want to be, better be a slave. And bear the blows of a ball and not a stave. Don't be a stave. Don't beat others. You yourself become like a ball and receive the strikes of the club. But don't beat others with the club. Submission to God is very important, and submission to His creation is God, or is good also. This is very difficult to explain, really. Why should I be very submissive and say thank you to everything? But practically it's true, because God is like that. God watches your wars and all that you're doing, negative thing, but He's patient. So you have to be patient. Inshallah, we shall speak more about it. مرغ او اندر کفس زندانی است می نجوید رستن از نادانی است. روح هایی که از کفس رسته اند انبیای رهبر شایسته اند. The bird that is imprisoned in a cage is because of his stupidity. It is possible for him to get out of the cage. Why he doesn't want to come? Then try. So if you put your soul in the cage of your body, it means you don't want, you're stupid. Try to get out. Try to enjoy the universality of Lord, God who created the whole universe. Now the science, we should be thankful to science, is making us fly mentally to the utmost away places, far off, like Jupiter. My God, you look at Jupiter and you will see that how beautiful it is. So, and he brings in a story about this kind of the bird that is living in the in the cage. There was a merchant who was going to India. He asked his friends that, what do you want? Then everybody had some request. Then he has a beautiful parrot who's very talkative. He asked the parrot, what do you want, my love? He said, all I want is I am in the cage. Tell my friends there in India what to do. So the merchant went to India and brought all the presents he could buy. And the parrot said, what is for me? He said, I'm sorry, when I said these words to your friends in India, to the birds, they all fell down. So I was very sorry, really. I better not told them. So the bird, when heard this, he also fell down. The merchant was very sorry because he loved the bird so much. So he finally, ultimately took the bird out and put it on the wall. The moment he did, the bird flew off. Who said, oh my God, you are a very bad bird. I loved you, I gave you food, and you have done this trick to me? He said, this is how you should be free of your body in which you are. So they gave me the message. I acted on it. upon this tree. Okay, next is, some people really are stuck by the shapes they say, beautiful shapes, beautiful cars, beautiful ladies, beautiful this, beautiful that. And this is actually imprisonment too. So how long will you be busy with the pictures on the jar? Says Rumi. Chand bozi ishq ba naqsh sabu beguzr az naqsh sabu ro abju. If you are thirsty, go in and drink the water in the jar. Don't keep on looking at the jar. This is very important. Surete zahir fani gardad bedan. Know that this physical shape is mortal. It disappears. Alime mani bimanat javidan. And the spiritual world lives forever. You should know this. And if you want to live forever, you should tend towards the spiritual world where the eternity lives and you become eternal. So, Naam Miri o Waziri o Shahi Dar Nihonash Margo Dardo Jandahi Bandabasho Barzami Ro Chu Samand Chun Janaza Nakibar Gardan Barand. These words, prince, wazir, royalty, have these concealing meaning: death, pains, and mortality. So be a slave of God and walk on earth like a horse, not like a coffin to be carried on people's shoulders. Many people like to be carried by other people due to pride, due to their egoism. Then Rumi suggests finally one more thing. Dar jane tu janiyes bijo o janra. There is another soul within you. Go and look for it. Dar kuhe tu kaniyes bijo o kanra. O Sufi, in search, if you are looking for him, then look it in your side, inside you. Because there, in the mountain, there is another mind. If you discover that mind within you, you will catch the real happiness. So, don't look for this happiness outside. Look it inside you. It's there. And this is the end of today's lecture. Thank you.